This is the Purgo 7-in-1 2-port USB hub. Why do I need this? Because my MacBook M1 has only 2 ports, and why I chose this particular one, aside from all of the 7 things that it does, that's all great. It charges through 100 watts, and that is important because there was a lot of discussion about MacBooks becoming bricked, or basically being killed by using lower quality USB ports. And the problem is, if you're using a port that can't move the amount of power that it needs to charge the device, in this case your beautiful new MacBook, you might kill it. So this is not in that group. This does charge up to 100 watts. So, you can plug this in, charge your computer, and then also be, transferring data or whatever else it is you need to do. Ideally, you're gonna charge your computer direct through the port, right? Straight into the wall. In an ideal world, we wouldn't need this, but we do. I wanted something because before I had another one and it had this like dongle and it was just hanging off the slot. It does support multiple monitors. I would say that if you had a case on your MacBook, this is not going to fit, because you can see that this thing fits right up against the MacBook. I mean, there is like, you couldn't probably even get a piece of paper in there. And then some of the other ones, they have these giant words here. No. What do I love about this? Pretty much everything so far. You're using it when you have it plugged in. So it does have a logo, but they were smart enough to understand that maybe I don't want to look at that. So it's on the underside, because this is the, right? So you can see it just plugs in like that. And it is pretty much basically the exact same color. You guys can see it does have 7 ports, which I love. But one thing I did want to mention is, because it does have those 2 ports, it's very secure. It's not kind of, bouncing around like it potentially would because of its length. And if it only had 1 port, that might just not be sturdy enough. I wouldn't use this on your lap because, obviously there is the possibility that you could bend that, and we don't want that. Let's go over some of the ports. This is what it came with, by the way, before I forget. And when not in use, it came with this little sleeve to kind of slide this in. I think that's a nice little bonus. Plus, it's actually really nice quality. I love it when companies just think, this is an excellent user experience. I love this. You have your SD card reader, micro SD card reader, 2 USB ports. One is a USB-C that is data only, and one is a USB-C that is 40 gigabits per second. It moves things at 5K at 60 Hertz, which is important. If you're transferring files, I don't want to wait all day, so I need something that's going to move files quickly. And I will tell you, this thing moves my files quickly. So I have what I'm filming on right now, which is my Sony camera, and I use my SD card reader to move my 4K footage over, and it moves at lightning speed compared to the former version that I replaced. I have been so happy with this. So, and then this is your HDMI port if you wanted to use like an external monitor or you were doing a presentation. This is a Thunderbolt port. To show you guys my setup. So this is the MacBook Air M1. This is the Purgo USB hub. And this is the Magic Bridge with the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID and the Trackpad 3. I mean, it's a really, really nice little setup. I have nothing negative to say about it. I am extremely happy with this setup. And if you're using the SD card reader, little note to self, put the card reader in with the metal elements facing up. So in other words, put the card in upside down, and it does fit. It's just because the way this is designed. So there you go, a little tip for you. Hope you guys found that helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.